Welcome back to Soundtrack Dip, guys. I am back with Average Boy and ready to dip into some more tasted tracks.
There's lots of exciting tracks to talk about in this episode, so it's best we get right into it. Cue the wipe down transition.
Once you've managed your way through the first floor, the second floor opens up with a whole new collection of levels to explore.
This track shares a pretty much identical composition to that of Monday's, except the instrumentation is slightly varied. More Western, I think.
There's not much significance in this change for me to find much favoritism between the two versions so far, but if I had to be forced to decide which is best, then I guess I'd give it to this one because it does have a nice synth brass in a couple of verses. The difference in tonality, switching from complete fear of the unknown to a subtle lift upward into I'm just focused on making my way through the tower so I can pokey pummel this pizza-faced bastard to the ground, is a slight improvement. Sweet mother of Christ! Klasky Gito, will you marry me? I can't believe how incredible this track is. Minute 1 of playing this level, I knew this track was gonna be one of my favorites.
Just take me now, Oregano Desert! Take me now!
Michael, calm down! Contain yourself!
I'm sorry. I just get a little ahead of myself sometimes.
The BPM of this puppy is at 183, which means it is high energy in the desert lands today, mis amigos. If you ever catch me around this song playing and I'm not so much as tapping a foot, you can consider me deceased because I cannot help but to shake my bootay when listening to this remarkable beats. They got this bongo beat hitting me like a freight train. The electric guitar, of course, is killing it here, and all the synths really lift this track to a legendary status. And I got to give a jam session to this part. It is imperative. Always hum this bit to myself on a daily basis. I just have such a kinship with this track. Words aren't enough to describe.
There, do you more or less have it out of your system now?
Yeah, I'm tagging you in.
Dude, the bass here is insane! Like Mike said earlier, the song is super fast-paced, making flying around with your mouth on fire a whirlwind. This level's definitely top tier, mainly due to the amount of fun gimmicks, but don't be fooled, that music is amazing too.
If I didn't make it crystal clear at this point, I'm putting this one at the top of the level themes for the time being. I'm still all chubbed up from this one. Okay, let me clear this up because I'm sure you're all curious. No, I don't like this one nearly as much as I like Oregano Mirage, but it's still good though. During your run of the desert, you enter an alien spacecraft filled with all sorts of extraterrestrial beings and cows. And the track, yet again done by Klasky Gito, my now forever soulmate, is decently coupled with this level. Coupled, yet again, just like me and Klasky Gito. It's all synthetical, it feels otherworldly, and it even does a little remix on the motif from the previous track. It's just one man's opinion, but I would have loved it if this song had been a bit more focused on the previously established melody. And maybe because I'm so enamored with the song that I'm saying that, hell, I'll take a few steps further and say that's definitely the reason. But again, this is just my take on it. You got anything on this, Average?
Sure do. The song is okay. It fits the spaceship theme well enough, but going from that absolute shock to the system that was Oregano Mirage to this slower song while still rocketing at Mach 4 is a bit of a cold shock. Man, if only there was a really good space song in Pizza Tower that kept the high-speed energy up. If only we were able to talk about that song within the limits of this video. As such, good song, but not nearly as good as the rest in this pack of top tiers.
This one is hitting on some serious grunge stylings. The setting is a spooky graveyard filled with corpses and ghosts and ghouls. And to be perfectly candid, I think they pretty much nailed it with this one. The utilization of the organ and tons of classic spooky sound bits, like the thunder and the death bells, this is just what the doctor ordered. Now, if the doctor ordered a song that I would unflinchingly adore, I would say,
congratulations, you're a failure.
Not to be harsh, at the end my personal preference plays a grand part in this, but to reiterate, I do admire the level of quality this one obviously oozes, and I'm sure it's got its fans out there.
That fan is me, Mike, and I adore this song. It fits the theme of the Western graveyard so well, even having sound effects in the beginning like a ricocheting bullet to fit the theme tenfold. And then it progresses into a slow and solemn tune, with a big electric guitar absolutely stealing the spotlight and being the star of the show. The song keeps building onto itself and gaining more subtle instrument additions that add to the total package. And you'd think having a slow, solemn song would clash with the speed of Pizza Tower, but no. Because of the general color palette, the enemies rising from graves, and the ghost power-up being a slowdown from Peppino's usual speed, it gives you the general feeling of the song while still keeping your attention with bursts of speed. And it only helps enhance the race back to the beginning with Pizza Time. I've seen a lot of people say that this song is at the top of their lists, and for good reason.
Yeesh, well, when you put it like that, it kind of puts things into perspective. Maybe I was too hard on Tombstone, Arizona, and maybe I should reconsider my psych! Boy, I am just titillated by this tantalizing tune. On the surface, I feel this would be the kind of song I don't pay too much mind to, but in collaboration with the jovial farm setting, it really does strike a chord with me. The one thing I found I eat up most in the track is the synthesized guitar. The sound of it almost reminds me of Undertale and how the guitars can sound in that at times. The whistling is a neat touch, like a farm man whistling while he works, and the background element of the almost dreamlike and bubbly floor is the there's nothing else that springs a lot of discussion on this for me.
Actually, there is something that personally makes the song lower on the spectrum for me. It's nice and slow and bubbly, like you said. The problem for me is, this song is distractingly slow for running forward at max speed. The fast songs help match that feeling, but here it's kind of distracting. Albeit it's a little funny hearing that nice and calming music cut in with the screams of both Peppino and the enemy.
It is only the first half of the level, maybe the second half has a more acceptable tempo. Well, it seems things do start to pep up. They bring back that hip-hop energy.
You know, the one that goes like this.
It is quite a 180 from the tranquil, outdoorsy vibe that the first track had going. How's this one hitting on your Pizza Tower speed charts, average boy?
Well, it's actually kind of funny. This song wasn't made for this level. This was made for a completely different level called Kids Party, and it's fitting. It's energetic and, I don't know, kooky? Personally, I think it's a little bit too repetitive for this level, but that's also a positive I should bring up. Most complaints I've had to either this song or Mort's Farm are alleviated by the fact that there are 2 songs in this level. Since there are 2 songs, you don't have to stick with either one for very long. But Kids Menu is definitely my favorite of the 2. It's so much more energetic.
One little detail I like is that there's parts that have kind of a xylophone sound to it. It kind of geniusly plays into that Kids Menu title very well. Overall, if nothing else, it's a pretty dope song to dance to.
Yeah! Come on, average boy, come on, join me!
Well, I don't... what the heck.
Oh yeah! You boys better settle up, settle up, settle up, settle up. Another banger. So far, Floor 2 has my utmost respect. It's got 2 of my most favorite tracks so far. This has many of the well-known elements you'd find in a classic Western tune. You got the abundance of whistling, the guitar is more Western sounding, there's a percussive element that sounds a bit like a horse galloping, and to me it kind of sounds like someone sloshing around water in their mouth.
Am I the only one who hears this?
Can't really hear it, Mike. I'm too busy jamming to that insane bass line. It's so punchy and fun, with mixes of an electric guitar backing it up later in the song. And the percussion is so fun. It's bouncy, but it's not overwhelming.
One of my favorite inclusions is that remix voice line with the guy going, "I don't understand what's going on here." Which to me, and I think a lot of other people actually understood him as saying something about lettuce. Some people hear go lettuce, some people hear more lettuce. When I played this for the first time, I personally heard
On my pizza, please.
which in retrospect, why would there be lettuce on pizza? I don't know. Maybe they were asking for some salads with the main ingredient missing.
I just looked it up. People do put lettuce on pizza.
Second round of secret mixes come to Papa.
Yep, it's more secret songs. Another medley of the 4 stages on this floor.
We have some hella jammers in this floor, so I'm excited to hear all the iterations of them. Firstly, for my dear beloved Oregano Mirage, absolutely love the xylophone-like synth that they play. They play it in the others as well, but it gets more of a standout solo here. For Yeehaw Deliveryboy, I kinda liked it more in its original format. Here it's alright, but you know what? I really like how Mort's farm sounds in this remix. It matches pretty well. Just like the original, it gets some xylophone love. It works so seamlessly in this style. And as for Wasteyard, well, I guess you can take this one average since you like the original more than I do.
It's somehow still as melancholy as the original, but more chill, which is wacky to me. Like, how do they do that? And yeah, as Mike said earlier, Mort's Farm's secret theme is catchy and cute. I like the little humming. I'm not sure what's humming, but it's cute. But before we can enjoy that for too long,
we have another boss in the house! The Vigilante is ready to put some dirt in your eye. This track to me is kind of a perfect match to my thoughts on the boss battles. I would say of all the boss fights, this one is maybe my least favorite. It's not really all that memorable to me. I've heard it a few times already, and each time it's pretty much like the first time. In all fairness, there is some pretty hot guitar licks in there, and the intensity of it is beyond well paired to the fight itself. The song is decent and serves its purpose in the game tenfold. I feel all the tension when I get into this boss fight. But personally, I feel like this OST has demonstrated you can both make an effectively intense track, but also make it really enjoyable to listen to. And for me, this one isn't one of those startling examples. Maybe there's some sort of deep cuts or references that I'm not aware of that would make me appreciate this track a bit more. You got anything juicy on this track, Average Boy?
nothing juicy here, just a pretty good boss theme. And while Pepperman's fight was really fun and over the top, this song is more serious and grounded, much like the Vigilante himself. And while the song fits pretty well and is not at all bad, its slower and more quiet pace makes it less memorable than the other boss fights. Even if it's still pretty good, I do really like the orchestra hits, but as an overall package, I think this one is the weakest boss theme.
Okay, back at it again with the creepy floor tracks. You know, they could have at least tried to make the song just a little bit different. It's the same thing every time it opens up all eerie and then the next verse comes up and it's just... Okay, wow, finally we start to mix things up more drastically with this tune. I think level 3 is probably my favorite aesthetic-wise. It's all vacation resort coded, and I'm glad they let the steel drums come out to play. That's a classic way to emulate the fun vacay feeling.
I like how bouncy this floor's theme is. It's perfect for getting ready to go to a beach level. And then there's this little break near the end that calms down and still has a sinister undertone like the rest of the songs, but with that pumpin' beat still going at it.
This is definitely going on top for the floor themes. Yeah, baby! I got major favorite alarms blasting in my head for this one the first time I played this level. Tropical Crust brings in a disco party vibe to the mix, and man, I really dig it. You can feel all the fun that Mr. Sauceman had making this one. All the voice lines just hyping this track up at the beginning. They were having having a field day with this one. The piano is such a highlight for me in this track. Just how well it starts off and then backs up the rest of the track. I am just in love with this one.
Dude, every time I hear that initial "Pump It, Mr. DJ," I get super excited and I gotta join in. Like Mikey brought up earlier, the piano is really catchy and great. But I think another thing that brings up the enjoyment of the song overall are the orchestra hits. They do a good job at keeping the fun momentum going strong, and that little solo bit in the middle, my god, this song is so good.
I think I'd put this one directly under Yeehaw Deliveryboy. I'm giving this one bonus points just for the title alone. It took me some time to fully appreciate this one. I really didn't get to hear it that much in the game itself because before you know it, you move on to the next section of the level, which is significantly longer than this section. The beat of this one is fantastic. I really like the ones where you feel like you can dance to it. I feel like I could take this one to the club with little to no shame.
The only club I feel like I'd find you at is the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Anyway, this song's really dang good. I totally get wanting to dance to it. That bass can move hips, and it's really got some personality with the monkey and gorilla sounds. I don't exactly know why that was included, but hey, it really does make the song stick out a ton in my head.
The bass line here is so well done, and I think the part that I like the most about this track is that little keyboard part that goes.
Well, Mike, it's a little known fact that that part is a reference to one of Tyler the Creator's songs, Jamba.
Really? How incredibly interesting.
What are you writing?
Nothing. I am catching major Mario Sunshine vibes from this one. It's the way the percussion is played and the vibe of it. Oh, just look at this. Bear with me though, I'm just obsessed with that game.
In the Gnome Forest, the spotlight gets quickly hijacked by the dynamic duo Gustavo and Brick. These two were teased in earlier instances of the game, and now you get the chance to take them for a spin. Pun not intended.
This song is a tutorial theme, and it is funny to me how much this also kind of reminds me of a Papa's Pizzeria game. It has the same simplistic feel, and it's significantly more old sounding than most of the other tracks in this. I just can't help but get a nostalgic feeling out of this one. It's just got those classic retro game vibes to it. And here's the track that you'll hear for the majority of Gnome Forest. And I mean, if we're going based on what fits the level the most, there are more elements in this that fit the setting much better. The beginning alone has this sort of foresty drumming coupled with some very, for lack of a better term, wet sounding ambience. Then later in the more jammin' sections, there's a sound effect that's constantly playing that sounds like you're bouncing off of shrooms, just like in the level itself.
Oh yeah, fun fact, both Yes Put the Tree on My Pizza and Wudpecker were both designed at first to be the only song for this stage, before Tour de Pizza made it so both sections have a unique song. And this song is so absolutely bouncy, like Mike said. It's so fitting for Gustavo and Brick being just a little bit slower than Pepino. Still fun, but not nearly as fast-paced. Klasky Jito knocked it out of the park with this one. It's totally fun.
Man, I love this level. I am so drawn to the design of the whole thing and the extra gameplay challenge of having to get Greaseball into the basketball net in as few hits as possible. Getting a Primo Burger on every course is like my lifelong passion in this game. The synth in this sounds so unique. It's like a really big rubber band covered in cheese. My god, what is my brain? There's a theming of food in this too, and it's even incorporated into the song as well with sound effects of microwave button pushes and really unpleasant eating noise at the end.
That bass is fantastic, and the drums are so punchy. I can't help but literally bounce up and down to the beat of the song. It's so goofy and fun, and it makes golf so much more fun. A really, really fun beat. Although, yeah, I gotta agree with Mike. The eating up close to the mic is a little uncomfortable. I'm not a fan of ASMR personally.
My God!
Okay, folks, I think Mike is out of commission for the time being, so let me start with this one. But with that said, it's for good reason. This song is really, really good. The guitar used has a special tool giving it a unique sound called a wah pad. That's why the name of the song is Extraterrestrial Wahwahs. And it's really good, both in general, as well as giving a song a real spacey feel. And then...
I love this song!
Oh, he's back. How nice.
This song is incredible. There's so much to love about it. I'll admit I only realized the full extent of this one's coolness after I listened to it without being distracted by the gameplay and sound effects. When you fully take this one in raw, it's like a completely new experience.
Oh yeah, it's totally different from when you're actually playing this insanely good level, no bias. It starts off so simple, and then it changes up to a more chill beat, and then the way the guitar solo not only gets its own solo, but continues its solo as the song continues to play in a higher pitch. Peak.
It is such a phenomenal track. This is like top 5 in this game for me right now. It's above Tropical Crust, which wasn't an easy decision initially. But when I hear those guitar sections, it just feels so right. Play that bitch! Secret themes! The more bangers I hear in the floor, the more excited I get for these secret remixes.
Dude, I've been waiting to talk about this one. The secrets here are top tier, even the weakest of the bunch. Everybody Wants to Be a Secret is wild, but there is no underselling the best secret song in the whole game, Extraterrestrial Wahwah Secret. Oh my god, it's so good. The way the smooth electric piano hits is just perfection. And the golf one, oh, the little babadee-badovas of the background are so good. By far, my favorite of the secret mixes. But hey, don't worry, the rest are pretty good. It's just gonna be tough to beat that space one, man!
Personally, for me, I love Tropical Crust in this style the most. It just works so well. I dig that melody from the original a lot, and adapting it to this funky little groove really makes me smile. And yeah, the golf one is awesome as well. I can be hopping all over secrets every day with these tracks. Here comes the noise, the legendary third boss. Dude, this track is straight fire. I am not gonna sugarcoat it. The insanity of this one not only perfectly reflects the very nature of the boss that we fight in this stage, but it also does insanity in a very bop-worthy way.
I gotta agree, the orchestra hits really sell this boss. It keeps the fight energetic, but also totally radical 90s, which is fitting for this Noid parody.
This is one of the first boss themes to play off the gameplay itself. Once you beat the noise's first phase, the music starts to become crazier and the boss becomes even more difficult. I love it when the composers do this. It is a fantastic way to make the boss fight more engaging.
Something about this song is so taunting. Between it and the noise's poses after finishing an attack, it feels like everything here is trying to poke fun at you. And that noise motif, oh, it's so simple, but it's so effective. And the announcer guy going, "It's the noise," really conveys that the noise is a total showboat. So yeah, good song.
Couldn't agree more, Average. And once we defeat the noise, this funny little tune plays him out. Right at the end, Noise gets ready to blast us to smithereens. That's until the missus pulls him away and we hear Noise screaming in terror. And yet another example of this game's really humorous and fun animation.
It's funny additions like this that give so much personality and charm to the game. And this is only a taste of how wacky the game can get with its humor.
Unfortunately, we will have to wait till the next part to see any of it. I really enjoyed myself, but God, I need to take a breather because there's too many bangers for one video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go subscribe to Average Boy if you haven't already. And please go ahead and leave a like and touch that ding dong so you can get notified when the next part of this video comes out. And if you guys didn't like it, don't worry. You can still leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Touch that ding dong and I will see you guys then.